Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Today we are joined by Neil Drepaul. He is one of the lovely people in our co-working office. He's a mortgage broker. I really enjoy talking to Neil. He's a super interesting guy to talk to, very, very conversational. So I really enjoyed our conversation today. We talked a lot about family life, talked about kids, talked about mortgage, talked about all that sort of stuff and what's brought him here, family business, all that sort of thing. And this is my episode with Neil. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about being a new parent. It's exciting.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
She's we just went to a wedding. It was her second wedding, but when her first wedding, she was really young. So,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
She was easy. She's almost 2, and took her to a wedding on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Diana and I were just standing there, and I kind of put my arm around Diana, and I'm like, she's just the coolest kid ever, isn't she? And we were just watching her, and she probably had the most fun she's ever had in her whole existence.
Yeah, in those 2 years, right?
It's 2 years.
Yeah, it's so
well,
cool.
she's less than 2 years, but it was just
Yeah.
cool because she's just a fun kid.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, I love her because she's my kid, so I have
Yeah.
a little bit of a bias, but
Yeah.
we were just watching her. We're like, man, you're so cool. Like, I
Yeah.
would be friends with you. She's the life of the party.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But that comes from you guys. That comes from one
People say that. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're pretty down to earth, I think. Dinah's super cool. She's chill. She's parenting comes a little bit more naturally to her than
Yeah.
it does to me.
Yeah.
I tend to be a little bit more impatient.
Mm.
I've never been a great coach. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm just admitting I've never been a great coach. She seems to have very natural parenting
Yeah, and
abilities.
that's being a woman. I think
Yeah.
me and my girlfriend literally talked about this yesterday. It's just some of the things that I do. It's just it. You have to learn it as a man. You know what I mean? Like learning all those little things. I don't have kids, but it's just talking about our dynamic together, of how we talk to each other,
Yeah.
and just it's interesting. But I think it's a really cool chapter. My friend is just about to have his first baby in January.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely I'm 27, so it's I'm getting to that age where everybody is having children
Yeah.
and married and all those different things.
You
But,
have people around your age that are having kids now.
yeah.
It's funny because our
Yeah.
circle, I feel like everybody in our circle ended up having kids later
Mm.
in their 30s.
Yeah.
But if you're seeing it now in your
Even
late
before,
20s,
I grew up in Fergus, so small town. People had I have a couple friends who are on their second or third, and they're younger than me.
younger than you. Okay. Yeah. That's
which is-
cool.
which is
That's actually
interesting.
one of my biggest regrets is not having her sooner.
Mm.
And we waited a while
Yeah.
after being married. And it's only in hindsight now. Hindsight's always 20/20. But
yeah.
now we look at it and we're like, you're so cool. I wish you were here 5 years ago,
Yeah, and it's also it's probably a little surprising because everyone's I think I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of people. It's a lot of people might be really afraid of how that might fit into their life at that
Mhm.
point. I'm really busy. How am I gonna be able to figure out how to work this into my life?
For sure.
But
Yeah.
I think you just figure it out.
Well, that's the thing. So everyone leading up to us having kids was like, yeah, you can't be ready. You can't be ready for that. And my argument, and I still believe that my argument was true, is you can be ready in
Yeah.
certain areas of your life, financially,
Mm-hmm.
where you are in your career. Those are things you can be ready for.
Mm-hmm.
You honestly can't be ready for the kid itself.
Yeah.
But you will learn. Yeah. You just do it.
Yeah.
There is this
Yeah.
innate, natural parenting thing that just comes out of you when you have a kid and you just know what to do.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. That's really reassuring to hear because I think that's my biggest fear is well, what if I just totally just can't?
You know what the problem is? In my opinion, the problem is with social media, there's this whole culture around, and I get it to a certain degree, and I'll explain what I mean in a sec, but there's this whole culture around complaining about being a parent.
Mm.
It's humorous. And the more you see that as somebody who doesn't have a kid, the more you're like, I like my freedom. I
Yeah.
like being able to do what I want to do whenever I want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's cool that there's a culture around that. When you become a parent and you find other people like that are going through something similar, you're like, I'm so happy I found you.
Yeah.
Because you're going through the exact same thing that I'm going through, so it's relatable.
Yeah.
But when it's not relatable, it can almost deter you from doing it.
Yeah.
And
It's really true. My friend Matt, who's about to have the baby in January,
Mhm.
he's a I think you guys would really get along. He's a really just straight shooter mentally, and in the way of It's like, why are you bitching about having a kid? You literally had that kid. You
Yeah.
literally did that. You
Yeah.
knew what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And it's just like, it's just the degree of like self-awareness that he has. And just like, I think he's just like very, very honest that
Yeah.
way. And I'm like, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, personal life aside, I really want to, you know, dive into kind of everything about what's been who you are now. You know, I'm meeting you for the first time this year.
Yeah.
It's been great to get to know you.
Likewise.
But what has been, talk to me about being my age, being younger, being in high school, and let's go all the way back there and kind of work towards where we're at now. And
Yeah.
I really want to dive into your career because I think the longevity in your career is very fascinating. It speaks volumes when people stay in the same industry for a long time and are able to see success through it.
That's encouraging to hear, by the way, and I'll get into that in a sec. But
Yeah. So we can go as far back as you want. We can start,
Yeah.
like, a lot of people start like, about like, tell me where you, like, did you grow up in Burlington, or tell me about.
No. I just want to answer a question before. Well, it wasn't really a question, but a thought that you had about, like, tell me who you are now. The honest truth is, I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
I'm going to be 38 next year.
Cool.
And you're way younger than I am. And if you think by my age that you might have it all figured out,
Yeah.
and I mean, from my experience, you're probably wrong about that.
Yeah.
The honest truth is you're always kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a brick wall that even I hit at times where I'm like, I don't know who I want to be, what I want to do next.
But
And
I think that's the important thing.
I think it is. The self-awareness of that is important.
Yeah.
When you feel like you're in a slump, but you don't really know what the reason is, I can see why that's depressing for people.
Yeah.
But if you hit a brick wall and you're like, I know why I'm hitting it and I know it's temporary and I know I'm going to get past this at some point, then I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do to kind of help accomplish that. And I'll probably talk about that as well. I mean, we can go way back to, my story goes back a little further.
Please.
Way back.
Take it.
So I'm in a family business.
Cool.
I took over the business from my dad in 2012, late 2012.
That's awesome.
But I grew up my entire life kind of knowing about the business,
That's sweet.
knowing that it existed, not necessarily knowing it.
Did you think at any point, like, what were you interested in elementary school and high school? Like sports,
science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, just your dad was this business guy.
He's a business guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's weird. Like, now thinking about it, whenever someone asks the question, I feel like I kind of knew it was going to happen.
Cool.
As a kid growing up, watching my dad, and so, you know, he had an office with employees at one point in time, but then,
Nice.
you know, in the late 90s, he kind of just shifted to a home office, and he kept doing that. So
That's interesting in the 90s to do that.
yeah, because, well, there was a massive recession, and he's
Yeah,
like,
fair
listen,
enough.
I don't
Yeah.
need all these expenses. There were
Yeah.
people working for him that weren't doing things by the book, that were kind of doing things under the table. He didn't like that.
Yeah,
He's
fair
like,
enough.
I'm just going to do this by myself
Yeah.
because what I'm doing by myself is enough to support the family. And that's just what he did, right? He didn't want to have to babysit people.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of in that mentality at the moment. And so I appreciate what he went through and how it relates to what I'm going through now.
Yeah.
But my story goes pretty much back to the time I was born, because he opened the business the same year I was born.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
the business
that's super
was
cool.
opened in 88. I was born in 88.
Yeah.
He probably opened the business a month before I was born. So, you know, fate maybe, right?
Love to know his thought on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he seems happy so far.
Let's start the two most stressful things I can do.
But it was cool. So, like, my whole life I grew up just kind of knowing the business was there. I would hear him on the phone.
Yeah.
Had his office set up in the basement, so I would hear the calls. I would help him with faxes once in a while. You
Nice.
probably don't know what a fax
I do,
machine
yeah.
is, okay? But I would help him with that, and you know, in hindsight, it's like separating work from home is really important. So I'm like that now. That's why we have this office space, and I like to work at home once in a while, but I don't like it being a huge part of my life at home.
Sure. Yeah.
Growing up, the house was an office and it was a house. It never affected me as a child. I'm sure it affected my dad as a business owner, but he liked being home. And so one thing I really appreciate about what my dad did is he wanted to be around more.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was lazy and didn't want to work for someone, although that in itself is sometimes motivation enough.
Yep.
But when you don't want to work for somebody else and you don't want to answer to other people, that isn't an excuse to not work as hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's an excuse to work harder, but you're doing
Yeah.
it for yourself.
Yeah. On your terms.
On
That's
your
what we
terms,
talked about on the last
no
episode.
stealing.
Yeah.
You can make as much money as you want, or you can just coast and be
Yep.
okay, right? As long as it fits your lifestyle. And so that's what he did. And I really appreciate that. And I'm like that now. So my daughter is going to be 2 in January. And I was around up until this point. Like I was around a lot.
Yep.
Whenever she's sick, I'm home
Yep.
with my wife.
Yep.
And I like to be a part of that. I don't like to leave her hanging and feel like she's alone in it. So I had that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it knowing that other people don't have that freedom. And
Mm-hmm.
there are people that will probably always work for somebody and
Mm-hmm.
it works for them and that's fine.
Yeah.
So that was my life growing up. And so like pretty much from the time I was born until I took over the business, that was it. Now, even going through university, first of all, my parents wanted me to go through university. Right?
Yeah.
And,
Were
I
you
didn't
ever
have to.
pressured into going to the business, or it was just natural?
there was never pressure.
That's cool.
There was never an expectation. I
Yeah.
think there was internal pressure
Yeah,
for
sure.
me to want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that that was the legacy,
Yeah.
is that I would take
Yeah.
it over. My parents wouldn't have forced me to do it. My parents wouldn't even have forced me to go to school, and I did. Well, they wanted me to for experience,
Yeah. Yeah.
not for the education itself,
Mhm.
but for the experience. My dad actually, when I graduated university, he's like, go out there and work for somebody,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want to because I was
Yeah.
so eager to get into the business.
Yeah.
I already saw. It's funny because I always saw myself as unemployable.
Interesting.
Even when I had part-time jobs in university, and then immediately after finishing university, I kind of transferred into like a full-time position at the same job, and I didn't like it. I just saw myself as not being employable. I just saw myself as somebody who was going to do his own thing. And it's not that it would have been anything. It was probably always going to be the business, but I pushed myself into it. My parents would have been fine if I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But in hindsight, they are probably very happy that I did, because I
Yeah.
am more or less their retirement plan.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's what keeps.
Was your mom
me-
working as well, or was it just your
My
dad?
mom was working with my dad. Yeah,
Cool. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Which
That's awesome.
isn't always the best thing, you know. Home life, kids are at home, husband and wife working together. I'm
Yeah.
not sure I would advise it, but I'm sure for some people it works great.
Yeah, I know. I've definitely had conversations like that with my girlfriend as well. As she went to school for a completely different path, but
Yeah,
it's just the eagerness, right? Like she sees the excitement in the business, she sees what's going on in my life, and she's just like, "How can I help you?" And it's just
Mhm.
like, it's amazing that she's willing to do that. But I think, like, let's keep it separate. We've
Yeah.
got a good relationship. We don't got to
You
put a
have to.
wedge.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
got to make it complicated.
yeah.
So I totally understand that. How old were you? So you came on at like 18, 19 with your dad, and
No. I was older than that, so it was. I'm not gonna do the math. I was in my 20s. Sorry, so now I'm mathing right now. But I was in my early 20s,
cool.
and I came in.
Has it always been in Burlington, or has it been
No, sorry, no. I grew up in Brampton,
Nice.
and
Troy as well?
yeah, moved out in 2015 with Diana, my wife. Before we were married, we were just like, let's just buy a house. So
Cool.
Yeah, parents were okay with it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, parents were okay
Did you
with
guys
it.
meet in university, or
I met her through my sister.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
best friends.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. I was always using the reference. I'm like, but if Chandler can date Monica, then what's wrong with me dating your best friend, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, moved to Milton, and then we were there for 7 years.
Cool.
And then we're in Waterdown now.
Oh,
and
great.
We did this
Yeah.
cool little transition.
Nice.
Sold our house in Milton, and then for 2 years we didn't buy.
Yeah.
This is before our daughter. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
for
be able
sure.
to pull this off with
For sure.
a young baby anymore. But we just wanted to. We weren't ready to buy again.
Mhm.
Didn't know where we wanted to be, and we're like, just let's move around to different places. So we would Airbnb for a month or two at a time at different places. Like we
That's
stayed
super
in
cool.
Collingwood, we
That's
stayed
super
in
cool.
Innisfil, we stayed in Guelph, we stayed in Oakville, just
Yeah.
all over. And it was a
Man,
really cool
that's-
experience.
That's so cool for me to hear that, because I really relate to that idea. I haven't really found, I've lived a lot of different places. I lived in Fergus until I was 18. I was in the Sioux for school for 3 years. I was in Ancaster for 2 years, traveled around, did a big trip overseas, saw a bunch of countries, came back. Now I'm in Hamilton, and I'm just like, I haven't found that one thing that I love out of a city,
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you did that Airbnb thing, because I've definitely thought about doing that in my life as well. It's just
Yeah.
let me just try to move, especially with where the business is now. In a year or two, I don't necessarily have to be plugged in every day in the same location.
Yeah.
I can be kind of mixing and grooving around different places.
It's funny you say that though about not finding a one particular thing within a city that you absolutely love that would
Yeah.
keep you there. You can apply that logic to anything in life.
Yeah.
You can apply it if you're an extremely judgmental person to your spouse or your partner. You can apply it to the work you're doing. You
Yeah.
can apply it obviously to the house you live in or the city you live in.
Yeah.
You just have to be content with where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Always push for more if you're
Mhm.
that person, but I think wanting more just because it's available or because other people have it is probably the biggest weakness that people have.
Interesting. Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
very well not be pleased with the city you're in because you would have preferred to be in a different city, but you can find beauty in anything.
Yeah. It's true.
It's just wherever you are.
I do. Yeah. I get what you're saying. And I do find that, making the best out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of been the way I've just had to live life.
Yeah.
If you know anything about my background, right? Like it's been interesting. So it's like, but for me, it's been wanting to find a city or a town. I think I would like a smaller town. I think I would like to be close to the water.
Yeah.
Hiking available, local shops I can walk to, just that sort of thing, like, and then somewhere where it would be a nice childhood for a family.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Waterdown was for us.
Yeah. That's great.
It kind of came out of necessity because Dinah was pregnant and we're like, okay, Airbnb things gotta stop.
We gotta go.
We gotta find a place to live in permanently. And then, so we wanted to be in Burlington.
Yeah.
We wanted to be closer to the water. Weren't finding a house that we loved.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found this place in Waterdown. We're like, that's it. Like the minute we walked in, we're like, this is the house.
That's amazing.
And, was Waterdown our first pick? No, but it's a beautiful city. It's everything that you just mentioned. Small town, close to the water, 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Small shops. We're on Main Street, so
Nice.
we're right by the downtown core.
Yeah.
Cool little shops to walk to.
Yeah.
Even that, everything gets old after a certain period of time.
Yeah.
But the novelty hasn't worn out for us yet.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually
amazing.
it might, but it's a nice, quaint little city.
And did you have a realtor working with you, or
Yeah, we did.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was working for us for 2 years.
That's
he probably
sweet.
hates us. No, I'm kidding. He's a friend of ours. He's really cool. But we weren't dragging him out every weekend. But
Sure.
over 2 years, like
You
there
go
were
to a
some
lot of
times-
spots.
Yeah.
Talk to me about finding that, like how is like, because you walked into that moment of like, this is the one, and that I think that is like what a lot of realtors, that's their moment.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're in mortgages, and I'm sure you have a lot of those situations as well, where people are calling you and like, Neil, I found it. I found the one. So talk to me about that, man, and talk to me about how seeing what your dad has done in the business, and like, obviously he stayed in it for a reason, like,
Yeah, he stayed in it. It was still is a lucrative business if you want it to be, right? Depends on, it's not cheap to acquire clients. And that's the thing. I think the one downfall that a lot of newer agents that get into this, I say new agents, and I will separate to say part-time agents, because I work in an industry, unfortunately, where a lot of people do part-time work too, just like real estate. And I'm not saying that that's a horrible thing, but it's not great for the industry because you do get a lot of bad apples, or you do get people that don't care, and it kind of tarnishes the reputation of people that do it full-time like us.
Yep.
But it's not, the work itself is fine. Even that kind of gets boring at times. The actual, pen to the paper type of thing. The fun side of the business is the growth side and the marketing and finding a point of difference, which is always a continuous challenge, by the way. You never get it perfect. And even when you think you do, it doesn't stay that way for a long period of time. It's always adapting. My dad stayed in it for a while because it worked for him. There was moments early on where I'm like, can I do this for another 10 years?
Yeah.
Can I do this for another year?
Yeah.
And that was like early on, fairly new at this.
What do you think was, pushing that mentality? Like, what do you think it was? Was it just the challenge of it being new, or
no?
And how did you push past that mentality? Because I think
it's not yet being used to the idea that you're only as good as your last month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And not knowing.
I do. I
hear
you. I hear
you. Right? And then it was like, and then you see friends and family kind of following, your typical employment career path, and they have consistency, and it's stable, somewhat stable. And you're like, why am I not doing that?
Yeah.
Right. And then you get experienced enough, and you get used to those hurdles
Mm-hmm.
and the ups and the downs, and you're like, this is it. Like, I could do this forever.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay because I'm used to it now. And I
Yeah.
think that's the thing that phases a lot of people out early on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a part of what I think is interesting. Like, you've been in it 15 years, right? You said
13.
13.
Yeah.
It's a very long time.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought that up. Is it's reassuring to know that, you know, there is longevity in the career, because you see a lot of people, like, especially after the pandemic, getting into real estate and mortgages,
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, holy shit, the money. But it's like my mom worked in the real estate business since she was 18 till she retired.
Yeah.
She was doing the books, and so she saw agents come and go. She saw them, you know, make their livelihood. And I have a lot of really close real estate agent friends through her. And it's really cool to see, like, I've been doing this 20 years,
Yeah.
10 years, 15 years. It's just like, that's what I want to be able to look back on in my career, right? Because it's the same. Like, we were talking on the last episode about the ups and the downs with the creative field and the differences. Like, every August, it seems like the whole world's falling apart because
Yeah.
everyone's away.
Yeah.
Because everyone's away. And I'm sure you
Right.
have those moments.
Oh yeah, it's like the worst time of the year. August usually, and then it picks right back up September, October.
Yeah, but it's so terrifying, right? Your mortgage payment doesn't stop.
Used to be terrifying. Now it's like a vacation.
Yeah.
Well, it's like work never stops completely. Like,
Yeah.
we always still have work in August,
Yeah.
but August is like breathing room.
Yeah.
Like, I can breathe now
Yeah.
for a few weeks even.
Yeah.
And then sometimes even that gets boring. But you're
Yeah.
like, don't worry, it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Because I've been through this cycle
Exactly. You have the data.
more than a dozen times.
You have the
yeah.
data. Yeah. And that's what's been fun about this year. We really analyzed this year and been like, and I try to do this every year, is like, look at the end of the year, be like,
Mhm.
what worked really well? What didn't work so well?
Yeah.
How do we bridge the gap? And what can we start to look at as patterns? What are we seeing is, you know, our best clients, you know, our months that are not so, you know, our months that are slower, and what do we want to do in those times?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, going next year, I'm going to be a lot more thoughtful about it and a lot less in my head about it.
Yeah.
Because August, I was like, oh my God, my whole world's falling apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah. And then September and October, we had record months. So it's like, it's just now next year I have enough data where I can be like, okay, Matt, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, they always say if you can measure it, you can manage it. And
Yes.
so data is really important.
Yeah.
But sometimes,
Yep.
like, the data can be your worst enemy because you're over analytical about everything.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you only rely on those numbers. And
Yeah.
you always want to see growth. And when you don't see growth, you feel like the whole world's just coming tumbling down,
Yeah,
right? But I think there's a happy medium
Mhm.
between relying on the data and just kind of going with your gut.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned that too, like just trusting your gut, because it's like a lot of the business is timing, right? Like, especially with what we're doing as well,
Mhm.
it's all timing based. And it's like, okay, it will come, you know,
Yeah.
especially in the early stages of your career. Like, I'm glad you had your father to kind of reference that off of,
Mhm.
you know, have a bouncing point off of. Because I'm sure you had like lots of those moments where like, is this ever going to work out? Is this ever going to make sense?
Yeah. My problem is I didn't confide in my dad enough.
Interesting.
Yeah. So even
But
though
that's hard too as a man, you know?
it
like,
is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And our
Yeah.
relationship got way better. Kind of like, you know, in your 20s as a male, you kind of just drift. You drift
Yeah.
from family a little bit.
Yeah.
So we would butt heads a little bit here and there, but I mean, we probably have a stronger relationship now than ever before. My granddaughter helps that, obviously.
Yeah.
Or sorry, my daughter, his granddaughter helps that.
Yeah.
But I wish I confided in him more. I didn't appreciate his experience enough, but I also didn't know how to have that. It's a weird conversation to have with your dad, unless you guys really had that closeness growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't really have that, but I didn't want to seem weak. You know, you're right. It is a male thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. But like, that's cool that you've been able to understand that and acknowledge that and learn like, hey, how do I want to do that? And then having the proof of being like, oh, it actually has made it so much cooler to talk to. And
Yeah.
I think that's a huge reason why I wanted to do this
Mhm.
is like, I wanted to just talk to other entrepreneurs and other people in industries and just learn about what's going on, you know? And like,
Yeah.
I think it's super fascinating about like, yeah, just the longevity and the fact that it's a family business, because working with your mom and your dad could be very challenging, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, shortly after I got into the business that my dad kind of phased out.
Hmm.
So we worked together for just a brief period of time, and then I kind of like not forced him out, but like I encouraged him. I'm like, let me just do my thing.
Yeah.
I'm in it now.
Yeah.
You just kind of like retire, semi-retire.
Yeah.
And let me just deal with it. I'll do it my way.
Yeah.
He gets royalties.
Yeah.
It's all good, you know?
Yeah. He's still doing okay. Yeah. That's great. And then where's the business now? What have you been able to, like, where did you want to take the business originally?
Originally is a completely different direction. So I have a business partner too, who's my brother-in-law. So kept it within the family. My vision was I wanted to grow it. I wanted to have agents and employees. I wanted to do really high volume. And then it was an ambitious goal, but it was also an obvious goal that someone in my career would probably want to pursue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, looking back, we haven't done that. We've done the opposite on purpose, because we didn't want to babysit agents.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want all the extra overhead.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted the flexibility, and we just didn't want to have to manage people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took the opposite direction where we're like, let's just keep it small.
Cool.
You do your business, I do mine. It's 50-50. So, if I'm having a bad month, it's offset by my business partner's good month, and vice versa.
Nice.
Now, are the plans for future growth completely off the table? No, but we've been able to grow revenue.
Yeah.
While
with the team being you and him,
without having to grow the team.
That's
exactly.
amazing.
Without having to,
that's the goal. That's
exactly.
The goal.
So when we started doing that and started accomplishing that,
yeah,
I'm like, that's what I thought the team was for.
Yeah,
that's what I thought the larger volume was for. But we can do it without that until we get to a certain point where maybe we can't. We hit a plateau.
Yeah.
But whatever we're doing so far is enough.
Yeah, that's great.
And it gives me a good balance.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be working all the time. I don't want to work on weekends. And that changes even. And 5 years ago, I was willing to work all the time.
Yep.
Then you get a distraction. I'm calling it a distraction. It's not really. It's a blessing. But like you have a kid,
saying.
you bring a kid into the world. It's like, I need to give you time too.
Yeah, exactly.
You get my evenings, you get my weekends. Nobody else deserves that right now.
Yes.
It's all for you.
Yeah. It's good that you're selfish about, like, not selfish, but you have boundaries around that idea.
You have to.
Because it can be an endless, and that's what, it's funny. There's a lot of themes that are coming up in the last episode and in this episode, like around, so for context, Art is a photographer in the area, and we were talking about the idea of like, do we want to scale an agency? Do we want to do this, or do we want to charge more and still make the same, right? And he's like, I just want to be more careful with my time, and he's older as well, and it's really important, I think. And I was saying as well as like, there's a real mindset that I have around being very cautious about chasing that carrot ahead of you. Like, I don't want to be, the guy like, I'm going to push for 1 million. I'm going to grow to 1 million. It's like, okay, let's just see, like, if it gets there, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But like, let's just be thoughtful about growth every year, but not being like insane about it. Like, I'm chasing growth year over year, month over month.
Yeah.
But I'm not killing myself trying to do it.
It's an obsession, and it's kind of an unhealthy obsession.
Exactly.
And I spent during the COVID years, I don't know if we were recording when we were talking about this, but I was part of this entrepreneur group. Yeah. Buddy of mine in Calgary started it, and it was just it was an opportunity to discuss weak areas in your business, strengths, also celebrate the strengths and the wins, and to get feedback from other people of other industries who have different experiences. And it was a beautiful thing for the 1.5 or 2 years that it lasted. Chasing growth, it's an obsession. So sorry, where I was going with that is during those years, there would be book recommendations. I got so involved and obsessed with reading all these business books, and I got them still on my bookshelf in our living room. And they're like, I love reading in general, but it was all business for me. And I was reading all those famous books, the 10 times rule, and this is marketing, and some of those books are great, and there's some valuable lessons that you get from them. Yeah. But one thing that kind of got to me is I became so obsessed with just business and just growth and wanted it so much sooner than I deserve it, that it became hard when those milestones weren't hit.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with a lot of those books too, that you can get from a book, but then you realize later in real life that like most of it comes from experience.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a step-by-step guide to anything.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
build the bare bones business using a step-by-step guide, but you can't become a very successful business following someone else's rule book.
Yeah, exactly. And I've noticed as well, like there's a term I use a lot in my life is like some people just need to burn to learn.
Yeah.
You know, like before the business, I was like running a bar, and I remember like I have every single point of knowledge that you need.
Yeah.
I can teach you everything you need to know. I can show you exactly the way I'm doing things. And I would tell them, and they would still do the opposite. And it's like, you specifically need to burn to learn. And I'm like, that's fair. You can do that. But I'm like, you would save yourself a lot of time and a lot of pain if you just listened.
Yeah. You can drive yourself crazy. If you're the kind of person that remembers everything.
Yeah.
You can actually just drive yourself insane with all the knowledge you're bringing in.
Yeah.
And then not knowing how to apply that in real life.
Yeah.
I have the opposite problem. I tend to read and then I purge pretty quickly with anything, minus like personal memories. Love memories, I purge information.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I don't write it down and read it a few times or remind myself of it later, I'll usually forget. So if you ask me what were the biggest lessons from any of the books you've read, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty much how I got through university. Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Same with me, man.
That's okay. But if you ask me about my experience with work and what I've learned, it's a different story because I've done it.
Yeah, because you physically
did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing also, is just like learning by doing, like I need to, like, I want to learn by doing, but I also will really take seriously the lessons that people are telling me to, because it's like I don't want to be the guy that's making the same mistake over and over and over again when it's told to you before and before and before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So brings that to kind of where you guys are now, and what do you think, like, the mortgage industry is interesting, and I think it's confusing to a lot of people, right? Especially, anybody first time home buying. Like, give some piece of advice that you've seen over the last couple of years, or even some insights that would be interesting, because I think, like, we shoot with mortgage brokers, we shoot with real estate agents. I learned just by talking to them, right?
Yeah.
And talking to you. It's like, but a lot of people just have no idea.
Yeah.
So
do what we're doing. Have dialogue. Have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
My business partner, it's great because I find that the things that I think about, he doesn't necessarily think about, and that's okay because we can't always be on the same page all the time. The group think mentality can sometimes be your biggest weakness. If you guys are both thinking alike and wanting to do the same thing, you need a bit of a challenger in your organization. If that so happens to be, 50%, which is your business partner, that's the challenger. If you're in a group of 10 employees and one of them or two of them is a challenger, that's also okay.
Yeah.
But the group think mentality is really bad. I think for business growth. Now, one thing that I always am consistently thinking about is how are we different, right? What people need to do is have dialogue. It is so hard. I'm realizing this as a business owner, very, very hard and a continuous work in progress to explain to the public how you're different. And that sucks because after 13 years of being in the business, it's, I blend in a little bit. If you go to our website, we probably look and sound like a lot of other people. And that's the problem with real estate as well, is everyone kind of says and does the same thing.
Yeah.
On their marketing material.
Yeah.
When you talk to them, it's a different story.
Yeah.
And so what I love to do is I want to encourage people to get on the phone with me. So if you've had a conversation with other people, talk to me. Maybe I stand out. Maybe you feel more comfortable with me. Maybe I'm more honest with you.
Yeah.
And if you haven't talked to anyone else and I'm the first person you're talking to, talk to me And then I encourage you to talk to other people.
Yeah, totally.
But the dialogue is really important.
Yeah.
And so that's what people, whether it's younger people who, growing families, or even older people who are now having a bit of an affordability crisis in their own homes, you have to have a conversation. And so if you don't know, because there's no one way to answer your question about, people don't really know the benefits of a mortgage broker, and I totally get that. My only answer to that is just talk to one.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to go to your bank right away.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the end result. Like, maybe that is what you end up doing, but at least talk to a mortgage broker first to find out if they can help.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, like, I didn't even know there was options.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people think, all right, I want to buy a house. I found a house. I have a real estate agent. He found me a house.
Yeah.
Going to the bank.
Yeah.
Bank gives me a number. That's it. Done.
Banks, I'll be honest with you, and I know I have a bit of a bias with this. Banks are old school.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like, really old school. Like,
Yeah.
open banking, which is a huge concept in the UK, and it's growing here a little bit. Which we're not. I don't consider us open banking, but like, there are so many more options for financing, whether it's business loans or mortgages, credit cards, lines of credit, than there ever were before.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, but it's also scary because you have analysis paralysis. It's like, well, I don't know, where do I go? Where do I start?
Yeah.
And I still think that the most important thing you can do is talk to a person.
Yes. Agreed.
Because the banking world's scary, and I'm not saying, AI is a tool that is going to be very useful in our industry in the future. It's going to be an empowering tool for consumers, but it's also going to eliminate that comfortable feeling you get when you talk to somebody that you trust.
Yeah, and also, like, the ability for them to actually understand your situation completely.
It's all unique stuff.
Right? Like, every person's different. Every situation's different. Every person's income is different. And it's like the amount of circumstances that you've seen over the last 13 years, like, you probably have seen patterns in every single thing.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it strong, is like, you can probably very quickly figure out whether this is a good idea or maybe a not so good idea.
Yeah.
And I remember I used the example of, our building was offering an equity home program. So the equity towards the rent that we've been paying could be used towards a home purchase. And I broke down the numbers with the gentleman that I was on, Kyle, who I wanted to introduce you to, and I still will. And when you look at the numbers, cash green would make sense.
Yeah.
But by a glance, it's like, oh, this is a great opportunity.
So rent to own is what it was called?
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically the concept, but the concept was only, it would have worked for our specific situation if we had 20% plus to put down, which we don't.
Yeah.
So hearing that conversation was really cool, because I was like, on paper, everything sounds great.
Yeah.
We're going online, trying to find a mortgage calculator, trying to figure it out, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And you're like, God, it's not really making sense.
It's confusing when you have to do it on your own.
Right.
There's a lot of different elements to it.
And it was giving us, hey, this is a good idea. And then I talked to a real person.
Yeah.
It was like, it actually would not be the best investment for your age, for where you're at in life, for what you're trying to do. It would have made sense if we could put 25% down.
Yeah.
Right. As an investment property, for example, because we didn't want to live in the area for a long period of time. Yeah. There's a bunch of different factors. And I think that's what, that's a real tangible example for people listening of, like, that's what you're saying, is talk to you about, like, you'll be able to understand and actually plug some numbers, actually figure out tangibly, is this going to make sense for you? Like, did you just have a newborn? Did your, wife start a new college program? Like, all these different things you have to consider.
Yeah.
So I definitely also encourage people to do the same thing.
Yeah. We get emails all the time where people want to have the dialogue over email.
Yeah.
They just want quick answers. Like, hey, can you just tell me, like, what are the best rates? And which, I get it. I'm so used to that question now, but I also find it sometimes annoying because we're not all just about rates. There's so much more to it. There really is, right?
Yeah.
And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, listen, I know this is going to sound stupid coming from a mortgage broker. It's not just about the rate.
Yeah.
It's also not the kind of business we focus on. Like, people that are obsessed about rate, like, there's probably, go to the bank then. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying the bank can give you the best rate, but, like, go there, because I don't know. We're a bit of a niche product, but people want to have the dialogue over email. I'm like, dude, can you just call me?
Yeah.
Just call me. Can we just give me 5 minutes of your time?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this on the phone, because
Yeah.
I don't want to just give you the answers that you want to hear. I want
Yeah.
to talk about this. I want to elaborate a little bit.
Yeah. And actually figure out like, what are you trying to accomplish?
And most of the times when I can do that and I can hop on the phone with someone, they're my client. They
Mhm.
end up being my client.
Mhm.
And that's a good feeling, because
Yeah.
that was the difference.
100%.
And so people just have to be willing to hop on a call again, which I feel like nobody wants to do anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, I see it in the same business like ours. Like I see it all the time too. It's like people will just be like, so what does a video cost?
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's so much more than that.
why are we doing video?
Yeah.
That's usually the first question I ask.
Yeah.
And they're like, because we want to do this. We want to run ads. We want to do a campaign. I'm like, okay, so there's thought.
Yeah.
This is great. This is
Yeah.
great. So now we need to be more strategic about that video. It can't just be something I just do, you know?
Right.
So I totally agree with that, man. And
Do you get a lot of people asking you? I know that's your rebuttal to them, is like, why video? Or you
Yeah.
want to understand a little bit more about their needs.
Yeah.
But do you ever get people that just reach out to you and you're like, hey, what's your cost? And that's it.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I still am like, well, what's the project? Like what?
Exactly. So that's the dialogue there.
Yeah.
That's where you guys understand and build rapport.
Yeah.
And that's where the consumer needs to understand. It's not like, what am I getting
Mhm.
for the amount that I'm paying? Because even if you're twice as expensive as the next guy, it's like, well, we haven't talked about value at all.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you don't even know what the end result is or what you're getting.
Yeah, and also too, like with socials, especially, you don't know when that is gonna turn green.
Yeah.
It could turn green in a week, a day from posting, a month, a year.
Right.
It just depends on what you're trying to position. Like, if you're trying to position like a high level mentorship program, it costs you, $50,000 for the year. Like that might take years of it living on your page for it to turn profitable, because you're looking for that very specific person.
Yeah.
Versus somebody selling a product like a hat or shoes, for example.
Right.
So I completely agree, man. And I think, a lot of like mortgage brokers or real estate agents are in the same boat that are doing well. Just like let's have an honest conversation about what you're trying to accomplish. And I think looking at you, like it's the experience people need to also consider. Between not only yourself, but also your business partner and then your father too. Like between the three of you guys, there's not a situation you haven't run into.
Pretty much seen it all. I
Right.
still get surprised once in a while, but
Yeah.
we've seen most of it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, going back to my comment about the biggest challenge, and not just for us, but I think for any business,
Mhm.
is understanding what your point of difference is. And sometimes it can take 10 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're not mindful of it often enough, and you just kind of you go on autopilot.
Yeah.
Like, I do what I do, and you assume that most people understand that.
Yeah.
And you assume that it's easy to understand. But the honest truth is, most people, like, you have to treat everybody like they're finding your business for the first time and have no
Mhm.
idea about it.
Yeah.
And explain to them the value they're getting.
Yeah. It's really great that you touch on that, because it's true. Like being business owners, you're so plugged in, you fully understand your value, your process, your product, exactly what you're going to accomplish. I still get people asking all the time.
Yeah.
So like, what do you do? Like, you shoot weddings? Like,
Right. See, because what's obvious to you isn't obvious to anyone else.
Yeah. So it's like,
Or there's a disconnect between what they think is obvious. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like, that's a choice whether to get frustrated or not.
Right.
And I don't ever get frustrated by that. Excuse me. Like I realize that, okay, we need to be more clear about what it is that we do. And that's why, I've talked to you about it, is like, making, maybe on your Instagram, this is a free tip for anybody listening. The first 3 posts should be pinned posts of like what you do, where you're located, and why.
Right.
Like the amount of businesses that I found on Instagram that have all these other things. They have amazing branding. They have all it together, but they don't have their location in the bio. And I'm like, I don't even know where you are. I don't even know where you are.
And for some businesses, that's okay, because, with virtual, like, there's a lot of business. Like, we could pretty much help anybody in Ontario, but for you can't.
Yeah.
You're a little bit restricted by geographical location. And
And I'm just like looking at like a restaurant or a service, right? Like,
But see, the fact that you pick up on those questions and you're mindful of what they're asking you and how that's a challenge and how you need to tweak your own business so that people better understand is already an important lesson that you're learning. And I didn't learn it as quick as you did.
Yeah.
I didn't learn that at 27. Probably in my 30s, by the time I was in this
Yeah.
for almost 10 years, I realized,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny to look at, like, it's easy to look at the business when it's working, when it's running,
yeah,
the ball is rolling. Everything's great. Oh my God, I don't need to change anything. Everything's great. It's like, no, that's not a sign. It's working,
yeah,
but it doesn't mean nothing needs to be changed. Like,
right,
that's where me and Troy try to take inventory of the business at least once a year, in January or whenever our slow period typically is, and be like, okay, like, for example, we lost a job last week because of portfolio. Like, they're like, oh, we just didn't really see anything on your portfolio that aligns with this video.
okay,
And it's like, for us, it's like, I understand that 100%. However, it's like, we could have executed on that. Like,
Yeah.
that is something 100% within our wheelhouse. And I was thinking about today, I was like, we just need to keep our website completely dialed, updated constantly. Because the stuff that's on there right now is stuff that we shot last year
right,
or at the beginning of the year. It's not really conducive to the stuff that we shot last month, for example.
right,
And it's like, I know it's in our portfolio because we're constantly shooting more stuff, new
Right.
stuff. But it's like, it just needs to actually make it to the website.
yeah,
And it's like, for you guys, it could be interesting to like maybe do case studies of like, okay, last month I closed on a mortgage with, a single guy making this much. He was eligible for this mortgage. Then I did a commercial, and then I did a couple,
Yeah.
then I did this. Like, that would be interesting
yeah.
if I was looking at that and be like, oh, okay, so he's actually,
Our
oh,
lenders do that with us.
yeah,
Like our lenders, oh my God, they send emails almost every day. We work with a ton of different banks and lenders, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, last week we funded this deal, and they'll give us the breakdown.
yeah,
I mean, after you see it 100 times, you're like, okay, I don't need to see more of these.
yeah,
But in the beginning, it was helpful.
yeah,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, as long as you're not inundating people with it, like,
yeah, for sure,
it's
for sure.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think has been the biggest shift over the last couple of years that you've seen, and is there something exciting that people can look forward to, or like, and also just general advice for people in the next couple of years?
Industry wise or just within our company?
Yeah, both is fine. Industry, you can do.
Industry is funny 'cause it has people scared, right? Lots of fear mongering. Things aren't stable in the economy, but then I don't personally think they're as bad as the media makes it seem.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on which media outlet you're following.
Yeah,
But,
this is true.
their whole objective is to get people's emotions stirred.
Yeah,
It's bad because sometimes it makes people make decisions they weren't ready to make, or
Mhm.
it prevents people from making decisions at all for
Yeah.
a very long period of time. That aside, I mean, the economy is always shifting. So, I can't convince anyone to buy or to refinance during a time where they don't want to. If they don't
Mhm.
feel comfortable with it, then it's just not the right time for them.
mm-hmm.
In our business, I'm just going back to the basics of like who we are and what we can do for you. And like, so I'm revisiting, our messaging to people, what value people get, what perception of value people get when they go to our website.
Mhm.
So they won't get the true value until we start working with them. But I don't think we've properly communicated to people what our value is. And so, going back to what I said before is like it's a constant challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's never perfect, and it never will be. It's always a work in progress. But I do think businesses need to do a better job of communicating. And it sounds like you're aware of this too,
Mhm.
communicating to their clients, what the value is.
Yep.
In terms of what's coming, we're just going to keep doing the same thing. Like any industry, we get more expensive over time,
Mhm.
right? Our industry is an industry where the understanding is that mortgage brokers work for free because they get compensated by the bank. We do a lot of B business. We also do a lot of private business. So we do have fees,
Mhm.
and not for every deal, but for a lot of our deals. And so we are getting more expensive as time progresses. And so my job is to communicate to our clients, why, number one, so they can understand it and what the value is that they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I have anything new and exciting coming. Aside from our website might look different, let's say a couple months from now.
Yeah.
There might be more video content. Well, my business partner and I we record podcasts now.
Mm-hmm.
And
where can they find you?
They can find us on our website for now. Spotify link is hasn't been updated in a while. So we started podcasting during COVID, and then we just totally just dropped the ball for like 2 years. We didn't do anything. And then we just started up again a couple months ago. So right now it's just on our website. And so there's a podcast tab at the top, and you can watch videos, but we're also on YouTube. It's kind of where those videos are linked to.
Yep.
And so what I was telling him is like the revelation that I had is we were having a conversation one day. We were talking about a deal, kind of went sideways or something like that. And we had a really good conversation about it. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I wish we recorded this so other people could hear it.
Yeah.
Because there was value in it for us because we were having dialogue back and forth. But like if people had listened to that, they would have had such a great understanding of that topic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think audio and video is so important now for businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do more of that. I've always been against social. I'm stubborn like that, but I know how important it is too, right? Because that is where people consume a lot of their content.
Yeah.
And that's where people get a lot of knowledge. Even doctors pull stuff from TikTok all the time.
Yeah. Also people, that is their social proof test, right? Like people want to look through your page. People want to see how you interact, see your personality, see what kind of vibes you are. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, is this guy like the same things I'm into? Is this like the same music, fitness, whatever it may be, sports? Oh, I want to talk to him. Yeah. So that's where I encourage you all the time. It's just like, you never really know who's watching and who's looking. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's funny. I got a buddy at the gym who, he's employed. He works for a company. He's pretty high up there. And he just started recording snippets of him working out, and he posted on LinkedIn. I'm like, I don't even understand why he needed to do that, but he did. And like, people are interested in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so to your point, social proof, whether you own a business or you don't, I mean, there's still a degree of social proof that,
100%.
that is there. Yeah.
And people like to see what other people are doing.
Like, yeah, I know.
Selfishly, right? Like,
it creepily too sometimes, right? I think that's my biggest beef with it is like, do people care to see what I'm doing? And do I want people to see what I'm doing? But that is how we consume content.
Exactly. Right. Like, you're going to do it. Like, people are going to watch somebody else. So why not you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I completely agree with that. And I think that's like where your generation is different than mine in that way, is like growing into socials and being like, oh, it's kind of like a pissing contest, where like, for me, it's like, I definitely felt that way at the beginning too. Like when Instagram first came out, I was like, what am I going to fucking post on? Like, what am I going to post?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
it got very gimmicky too for a while.
Yeah. Here, guys, look at me today. Like, this is my, like, it's just, totally gimmicky. So it's like, I completely understand that idea. And now it's just like, I just selfishly want to look back at my feed at the end of the year and like, be like, oh, what was I doing in February, March, April? Like, I'm doing these monthly recaps of the business. Just cause like I just want to look back and be like, this is what I was doing. This is what I was up to. This is what I was kind of like trying to figure out. And like, that's why I want to do these conversations too. Cause it's like, I just want to be able to like have all these things I can just look back onto, these mementos, and like, you know, one day having kids, like, this is all stuff they can watch. And
you have to be willing to be self-critical, because some of that stuff's cringeworthy. You know, you go back and watch your old stuff, you're like, what? That was me? Why did I do that? But yeah. Dude,
I made a video when I was 18 before I went away to college.
Okay.
Of like, message to my future self.
Yeah.
Like, watch this when you're 28 or whatever, 33. And like, I watched that the other day and I was like, whoa.
It was uncomfortable, right?
I was like in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, it was like so crazy. But it's like, those are like almost the funniest videos to watch. Like, I don't know if you know Mr. Beast is, but like, he did that video. Oh, yeah. He did that video of like, watch this when you have 100 million subscribers. Yeah. And it's just like, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
But like, he's there, he did it. And it's like, that's just like,
as a genius.
You know what I mean? Like, just to have that also as a goal, right? Like, that's a little bit of an accountability thing too. Like if you put that out there, it's like, I gotta at least try. Yeah. I gotta at least try.
But can we talk about that really quickly? Yeah. Are you good for time?
Yeah, we can keep.
Okay. So the obsession that we were talking about getting so into the weeds about
Yeah.
growing your business and wanting to grow and
Yeah.
and manifesting, which is a word I used to love and now I kind of hate it because you can manifest all you want, but you have to have a good balance in life.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if this is a me thing, if other people my age feel this way or other business owners my age would feel this way. So I don't want to, discourage you from like pushing and just grinding it out. But there comes a point where you're like, you got to be okay with where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying give up growth, but like,
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about like slow growth, year
Yep.
over year, month over month.
Yep.
You don't need to 10x your revenue.
Yeah.
But then you get to my age and you realize there are other areas of my life that need attention.
Yes.
And you can't
Yep.
put it all into work. And if you do, the other areas of your life are you're going to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Some very happy moments, whether
Yeah.
it's with your kid or your wife, or you just like being outside cutting the grass,
Yeah, exactly. Just
being in
having
the
the
garden.
time. Yeah.
right? So one thing you'll realize is that your time trickles down pretty fast. You have
Mhm.
less of it as you progress,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fine to give other areas of your life attention. Can't
Yeah.
just be on business growth.
Yeah.
And that's also what makes you happy, because that balance is what gives you that longevity, because you
Yeah.
can burn out really fast.
For sure. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. We talked about that as well on the last episode. Is like, I used to think like in our first year, me and Troy were doing fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like shooting and editing every single project that came in. We were able to do 6 figures in 9 months. We're like, oh my God, this milestone's amazing. We just want to hit that milestone. And like, but it came at the cost of like us working like insane people and also like fucking up what we were doing.
Because you're tired.
'Cause we
you're
just
burnt out.
Didn't have systems. We didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
processes. And it's like the second year, so 2024, we're like, okay, let's be thoughtful about this.
Mhm.
And our mentor is big on like balance as well. Like,
Yeah.
and again, balance is used different words, but meaning like, can you still accomplish what you're trying to accomplish with a team, a small team that can execute, which is
Mhm.
exactly what we have. And, that comes at us paying ourselves a little bit less,
Yeah.
but we have actual time
Mm-hmm.
to do stuff.
Right.
Where for me, for example, like time to actually drum up new business, network, go meet people, go take time away where I want to think about the business in a thoughtful way. And it's like, I couldn't do that if I was actually in the business
Right.
every day. You can't work on the business when you're in the business every day. And that was
Right.
a really important lesson that I learned in our first year. And yeah, I've just been thinking about that idea since, kind of, all the time when we're too busy. It's like, why are you too busy?
Yeah.
He asks us a lot. That question is like, what are you spending your time doing?
Yeah.
Like, actually work it out. Like,
Yeah.
break the numbers down. What are you doing that, 8 or 10 hours you're in the office?
Yeah.
Like, and that kind of degree of self-awareness and like that, you have to be you have to be able to take humility with it too.
Yeah.
Like being able to be like, well, I'm actually not as productive as I thought. I'm just kind of doing some filling, like just doing these bullshit tasks. And that's why our revenue has increased this year, right? Because I've been really thoughtful about like, where am I spending my time?
Right.
Where am I best placed in the business? And by the time this comes out, we will probably have 2 other people working for us. So that's my biggest focus after, is like, how do I best position them to help with all the other stuff that I'm doing,
Right.
that I don't necessarily need to be doing.
Yeah.
So
Do you ever apply that logic to your outside of work life?
I try to, yeah. Like,
Yeah. You ask those important questions about where you're putting your time when you're not working, and
yeah.
who deserves your time. And
Yeah. It's funny. I've gotten really back into fitness this year.
mm-hmm.
I've always I was, 120 pounds soaking wet in high school, super skin and bones, right? And went to college, put on a bunch of weight,
Yeah.
and just kind of been playing like the working out overeating game
Yeah.
for forever. And now I'm like on a pretty strict diet, working out 4 to 5 times a week, trying to get a specific goal.
Yeah.
And that's where like I've been trying to figure out my time. It's like, okay, like if I want to try to do this fitness thing, like how do I got to execute the time? And it's like I've been struggling a lot with like doing the things that I used to do, like really enjoy, like going for hikes, skateboarding, snowboarding when the winter's here. Cause like I find I'm just like, oh, Saturday, I'm like, oh, I got nothing going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I actually want to fill my time with?
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to know if if you had the same moments at your life as well. It's just like, I rarely have time off. Like I usually work, because I'm still working at the keg Saturday, Sunday, serving. So I like normally Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then rinse, repeat, and like I'm young. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it now.
Right.
Because I'm trying to get ahead. But I know there's limit to that longevity.
Yeah. You'll find you have less time as you get older too,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how your life changes and progresses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's great. So you are back in the gym.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe not as much as you want to be, but you're there.
Yeah. I'd say like 4 times has been good. Like I've been seeing great progress in my physique, my body, and overall just how I'm feeling. But it's that consistency. It's like 4 days a week, every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right. And like, that's been the goal, and been really putting a thoughtful effort into it since April.
Yeah. And the most encouraging time to work out is, and this, you realize this after the workout, is when you don't want to.
Yeah.
And you can push through it anyway. And then by the time you're done, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Like,
yeah.
You're actually proud of yourself. You're like,
yeah.
I could have just stayed home and did nothing.
Yeah.
But I came here.
I know. I have a lot of those moments, man. Like I'll get home super late and I'm like, fuck, I still have to work out.
Yep.
But I'm like, just do it.
Yeah.
Like this is what I was talking to like my friend Matt. I think you guys would get along. Like he's like super tiled, right? And it's just all right, let me see how I feel. I'm going to go walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes.
Yep.
See how I feel. Then I'm going to start an exercise. I feel good. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Because it never is just that. It's never like I'm just going to go on the treadmill for 10 minutes and then I'm even more tired than I was before. It's like I feel better.
Well, you get a second wind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's like, and then you get through it and you finish working.
That second wind is awesome.
Let's go.
That's why I don't work out late. Because if I did, even though you'd be tired after the workout,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to sleep. You're
See,
wired.
I find like ideally I would work out between the hours of 6 and 7 p.m.
Okay.
Like that has been for me, like, because I have enough food in my body, I have the energy, and I can push through. I've noticed the morning workouts, I'm just like, I just don't have enough energy. Like I don't have enough food in my body.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm just like, I feel half as strong.
I only work out on an empty stomach. First thing in the morning. Yeah. I can't eat before I work out.
But that's good though.
That's what changes though. I think that changes with age, where you're like, I don't need food. Like I need to be on an empty stomach.
So I like doing
pre-workout.
I like doing the cardio thing in the morning. Like that's when like it feels great because like you get the caffeine and it's just like you're in it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but yeah, I've noticed my best as far as how I'm feeling strength wise. It's usually in the maybe like end of like towards the end of the day, like 5 or 6.
Yeah. I used to work out late when I was your age too. I'd be on pre-workout and everything. I'd go to bed just fine. No issues. If I take my that's really what it comes down to. I don't work out late, yes, because I don't want to work out on a full stomach. But if I need pre-workout, I can't take that past 12 o'clock p.m. You know what I mean?
I don't take pre-workout. Like I'd be curious. I just drink coffee, right? Like I'll usually have my last coffee at like maybe 1 at the latest, 1:30, because I'm trying to be more cognizant of like that like
crash window.
Well, just people saying like, hey, if you take caffeine, it sits in your body for 12 hours.
Oh, okay.
From the time that you have it.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to be more smart about like sleep, because like, I just noticed, man, like if I'm consistently not sleeping well, it's just so bad. Like,
it'll ruin your whole week.
Yeah, it's
2 to 3 days. But I mean, when you have kids, you realize that there is no such thing as a good sleep. But we've been lucky, but it'll get to you pretty fast.
Yeah. Neil, this has been great, man. Is there anything else you kind of want to touch on or talk about? I mean, like, even feel free to give some messages to first-time home buyers, people who are like nervous and like, take it where you want to take it. We've been
running
for an hour and 5, so we can keep going.
I actually want to ask you a question. Forget about me. I want to ask you. You were this is your podcast, and you're doing a pretty cool thing. I think the dialogue is really important, and I know some people who you've spoken to already, and I can't wait to see those episodes. Your business, you had mentioned that there was a time where you kind of lost a deal. Somebody said what you had on your website didn't align with what they were seeing, and I don't believe that to be true, because this is correct me if I'm wrong, this is almost like an art form. It can be what the consumer wants it to be, but you have to express what you're looking for, and then your honest feedback as to whether you can do it or not is important to them, right? You're not just going to tell the consumer what they want to hear just to win the business.
Exactly.
You either can deliver or you can't, because you don't want unhappy customers. So use that experience to quickly explain, like, how would you summarize what you do to the consumer? So our kind of core offerings, if you want to frame it like that, is like we do brand storytelling for videos, businesses. So brand storytelling for businesses, meaning like, give me this 1 to 2 minute snapshot of like why your business is your business. Why should people give a shit? And then from there, helping with socials and marketing. So whether you need, help with shooting consistently, posting, SEO, web, whatever it may be, we can at least have that conversation. And I think what makes us unique is like, between me and my business partner, we've shot pretty much every project you can think of, whether it's a documentary, a short film, a feature. We've shot spec commercials, we've shot product demos, we've shot UGC stuff, we've shot like cars, like just a random between the two of us. We've shot weddings, like between the two of us, we've pretty much touched it all. And that's where like I have a high degree of confidence in the team that whatever the project is, even if it's new, even if it's something that we directly haven't done before, verbatim, one-to-one, I truly believe in the execution of the team. And like, I just, that's the beauty of it, having a business partner that I've known Troy since we were both 18, right? And I just know when he understands the vision and the goal for the project, I don't need to worry about it anymore. The shots are there. The edit will be there, you know? Like, and a lot of people just trust in the process of the edit too, because the shooting day might feel like, okay, do we actually get anything? Do we get everything we need? And it comes together in the edit always. It's like, because we're gonna basically overshoot the day, and then the editor is gonna take all the most amazing moments from it and make sure it really paints the story. And that's where like I think my most valuable part of the business is like really trying to understand at a core what this is being used for, because then I can just relay that better to my team. If you don't have an idea or a direction for the video, it makes it very challenging for me to understand how I can direct my team. So your strengths are being a good listener is one of them. That's like being a good husband, right? And having a good marriage is being able to listen to somebody else speak. And keeping your mouth closed without interrupting, and not taking it in a direction that you want to go, but being a good listener is your number one strength. Maybe not number one, but you're the next step to that after you've listened to somebody is being the visionary. And that's what most businesses are missing, is the vision, the visionary who can bring it all to life, because they don't know where to start.
Yeah, for sure. And like I find, I appreciate you saying that, because I do. For us, when we take on a project, it's not about how we want it to look. It's never about, I'm going to do it my way. It's about, how do we best serve you as the person paying for the piece of like content? Like, that's why we do spec work. Spec work is, we want to make a project how we want it to look. Because we're funding it ourselves. When a client comes to us and says, hey, we want to shoot a video, we're not making it fucking on our terms. We're making it on the terms of us together 100%, agreed 100%, upon, like the collaborative effort. And that's where I think a lot of people might not know about our business, is like, I really invite that collaboration throughout the entire process. Like, we worked with a company and they've never done a video before. And that was a really unique situation where I haven't really ran into that before, I don't think, where they've been 100% never shot anything ever.
Yeah.
Usually there's like a little bit of thing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
they've tried something. But they're like, yeah, we just don't really know what this process is going to look like. And I had to like really take time to be like, okay, I need to like properly break it down,
Right.
you know, and like properly educate them on this. And that was a cool way for me to be like, I think they're just like, because I don't want it to ever come across like I'm taking the reins of the project. I'm doing it on my way. I'm being controlling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I want to make the best thing for your organization that I can.
Yeah.
You know, and the more information, the more backstory, the more reasons you give us about why we're doing this, that helps.
Yeah. They're the storytellers, really.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the storyteller. They're the storytellers. You're just using your skills and your experience to put their story together.
Yeah, in a thoughtful way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're the storytellers, but that's more like documentary setting, for example,
fair
or
enough.
or short film
Yeah,
setting,
yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
Something that's more directly client facing
Yeah.
or customer facing. I want to know what you guys are doing, because with or without me,
Yeah.
you're doing it anyways.
Right.
And if we can film it and put it out in a thoughtful way, then that's important.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Sweet, man.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, I appreciate yours as well.
It was
This
a
is
good conversation.
a great episode as well.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Website is cmsmortgages.ca. We have an Instagram page, but I got to work on that clearly. YouTube, sadly our social pages are not as easy to find, but I got to get like a dedicated YouTube page that I can reference. But if you go to our website, there's a link to everything there.
Yeah, CMS Mortgages.
cmsmortgages.ca.
Perfect. Very good. Well, thank you so much, man. And we'll see you on the next one, guys.
Thank you guys.
See ya.